Chosen one, how many times have you felt that burning desire to make a radical change, only to let it flicker out under the weight of excuses and delays? You know the feeling. Your heart revs with the promise of transformation. Your mind bursts with fresh ideas, yet something in you presses the brakes. Maybe it's fear of failing, maybe it's comfort in the familiar, or maybe it's the voice that says, "Not yet." Meanwhile, life moves on. Days turn into weeks, weeks bleed into months, and all the while that deeper longing remains, an ember waiting for the right gust of wind to set it ablaze. If you've spent too long searching for the right time or the perfect conditions, let these words be the final clarion call. Just do it now, no excuse. This is the final step you've been avoiding, the step that will change everything. There is no more tomorrow, no more toying around with half measures. It is happening here and now. Take a moment before you read another sentence to do 3 simple yet symbolic acts. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment 777 below. Why 777? Because numbers carry energy, and 777 represents a spiritual alignment that can help solidify your intention. By typing those digits, you tell yourself and the universe that you're through with procrastination. You are stepping up, acknowledging that your destiny won't wait forever. Even the smallest gestures, when made with real conviction, can spark monumental shifts. So if you feel the adrenaline stirring in your veins, if your soul resonates with these words in a way that defies rational explanation, then pause and comment 777 right now. Do it as a contract with yourself, a vow that no matter what, this time you'll see it through. Now consider what it means to be a chosen one. You may think it's some lofty title reserved for mythical heroes or spiritual prodigies. But here's the truth. Being chosen isn't about self-importance. It's about recognizing that your life holds a deeper purpose. Over and over, you've sensed that you're here for more than the mundane cycle of merely existing. You've glimpsed the possibility of a grander mission that your experiences, even the painful and humiliating ones, have been preparing you for. Maybe you've tried to talk yourself out of it, telling yourself you're too ordinary, too flawed, or too late. But the universe sees you differently. It sees each scar as a lesson, each heartbreak as a gateway to empathy, and each stumbling block as a test, forging your resilience. The sum of all these trials forms the bedrock upon which you can now build something extraordinary. And it can start the moment you decide. No more excuses, no more waiting. You might be asking, but what exactly am I supposed to do now? That's where the magic lies. Your mind might be searching for absolute clarity, for a bullet point plan that guarantees success with no risk. But life rarely offers such neat assurances. Sometimes it calls you to step onto a path that you can only partially see. Like walking by moonlight, you discern only the next few steps, trusting that as you move forward, the light will reveal more of the trail ahead. This is the essence of faith in action, a combination of intention, trust, and the willingness to adapt as new information unfolds. If you're unclear, start with one area of your life you know is overdue for change. Your career, a creative project, your health, or a relationship in need of honesty and transformation. Decide that you'll push past your threshold of comfort, accepting that growth rarely arrives gift-wrapped in certainty. Just do it now is not a shallow rallying cry for impulsiveness. It's a reminder that time is precious, that the callings of your soul aren't random whims, but messages from a higher aspect of your being. The universe doesn't plant these urges in your heart just to taunt you. They're signs that a door stands open, that you're invited to transcend your old limitations. Every day you hesitate is a day you give to mediocrity, to that creeping dissatisfaction you've learned to mask. Yes, stepping into your calling could disrupt your comfortable routine or ruffle some feathers around you. Some people might question why you've changed your priorities. Let them. Your life is not a democracy of opinions. It's a sacred contract between you and the divine spark within you. If that means you must defy old patterns, so be it. Yet it's easy to get caught in illusions of readiness. You might imagine that you need more money, more time, or more emotional stability. The irony is that the very act of stepping forward often brings the resources you seek. For instance, a woman once dreamed of starting an online business but believed she needed a large sum of capital to begin. Tired of waiting, she launched anyway using free tools and minimal investments. Within months, she found unexpected allies and small injections of funds that propelled her further than she'd believed possible. Another individual spent years planning to write a novel, but insisted on waiting for an ideal moment in life. Enough savings, a quiet cabin, the perfect mindset. Finally, a jolt of desperation drove him to begin scribbling whenever he could, on commutes during lunch breaks late at night. And that gritty perseverance opened doors he never anticipated, leading to a published work that impacted more readers than he dared dream. These examples show that the universe responds most powerfully when you act, not when you merely think about acting. Fear might still nag, what if I fail? But failure is not the real enemy. Inaction is. Failure can be a teacher, guiding you to refine your approach, revealing the blind spots you need to address. In contrast, doing nothing guarantees that you'll remain stuck, spinning hypothetical scenarios without end. And ironically, your biggest regrets often revolve around not attempting the things your heart whispered about, more so than any misstep you actually took. Think about your life so far. When you look back, you'll likely see that your bold choices, even if they ended in stumbles, shaped your growth in invaluable ways. Each time you took a leap, you expanded your capacity to live fully, to learn deeper truths about who you are and what you can handle. Chosen one, let's discuss the final step more explicitly. This phrase implies you've already come a long way, gathering knowledge, flirting with possibilities, even taking smaller preparatory actions. Now, the final step is the threshold, the tipping point where thought and talk become a lived reality. It might be the day you tender your resignation from that soul-draining job, or the night you sit down to finally fill out that application you've avoided. It might be the moment you reveal your hidden artwork to the world, or the time you confront a person in your life with an overdue truth. Whatever it is, it's the last barrier between your old narrative and the transformation you sense is possible. By crossing it, you initiate a chain reaction that can't be undone. That's terrifying and exhilarating all at once. But it's also crucial, because your potential will never become actual if you stand forever at the edge of the pool, dipping your toes but never diving in. Let's also be honest about the emotional roller coaster this final step can unleash. You may feel a rush of euphoria the moment you commit, followed by waves of second-guessing. That's normal. Humans are creatures of habit, and the ego invests in maintaining the status quo, even if the status quo is a cage. A part of you might cling to illusions of safety. At least this misery is familiar. Shatter that illusion. Familiar misery can't compare to the raw possibility of real growth. The final step might not guarantee an easy path, but it promises something far more precious: authenticity, alignment, and the joy of living a life that resonates with your soul's calling. If you encounter pushback from people around you, some might laugh, question your sanity, or accuse you of arrogance, recognize that this is their fear talking. Often, when you break free, it highlights how others remain stuck, and that can trigger defensiveness. You aren't responsible for making them comfortable at the expense of your destiny. Stand firm, yet compassionate. Love them, but don't let them talk you out of what your inner voice is urging you to do. Eventually, your actions will speak louder than any words you can muster, and those who are meant to be in your life will adapt or celebrate your courage. Another critical point is that doing it now does not have to look the same for everyone. For some, it's a dramatic move, quitting a job, relocating, or ending a stale relationship. For others, it might be more subtle yet no less significant. Choosing to volunteer for a cause close to your heart, committing to daily prayer or meditation to deepen your spiritual connection, or writing the first few pages of a memoir. The scale matters less than the spirit of decisive action. If your soul is on fire for a change, even the smallest real-world effort can stir the universe into motion, unleashing synchronicities and resources that have been quietly waiting for your green light. One real obstacle is often the scarcity mindset. You may believe you lack money, skill, or time. True, you might not be flush with these resources right now, but the universe repeatedly shows that resources flow to those who commit wholeheartedly. People sense genuine passion and rally behind it. Grants materialize, mentorship appears, or the right partnership lands in your inbox at just the perfect moment. Is it guaranteed to be smooth? No. But rarely does the path of destiny come gift-wrapped without labor. The friction along the way is partly what polishes you, ensuring you don't squander the gift once you receive it. At this point, let's circle back to the simple call. Comment 777 if you haven't done so yet. By making that statement, you reaffirm your readiness. That digital gesture, small though it seems, signals that you're part of a wave of souls who have decided to cross the line from "I might someday" to "I will now." It anchors your resolve in the physical realm. Later, as you look back, that fleeting moment of typing 3 digits could serve as a symbolic turning point. That was the moment I told the universe I was done hesitating. And from that moment, watch the doors open or the paths reconfigure in front of you. Some might worry about how to sustain momentum after the initial rush. Once you make the leap, it's easy to drift if you don't ground your action in sustainable habits. The solution is discipline fueled by vision. Create daily or weekly rituals that keep you aligned with your goal. If you're building a new skill, set up a structured practice schedule. If you're forging a spiritual discipline, carve out non-negotiable times for prayer or reflection. The universe loves consistency. It shows that you're serious, not merely flirting with an idea. Over time, consistent effort meets with cosmic serendipity, forming an unstoppable combination. In addition, remain vigilant for the lessons hidden in every setback. Maybe your first attempt at launching a business doesn't take off as you hoped. Instead of proclaiming defeat, glean the insights. Which parts worked? Which parts need rethinking? Which resources were missing? And how can you refine your approach? This iterative process can refine you like a diamond under pressure. If your final step leads you to heartbreak or disappointment, don't assume you took a wrong turn. Often you just need a second pass, a deeper perspective, or the gift of time to see that the universe is orchestrating a bigger picture. Let's talk about the internal metamorphosis that occurs once you commit to the final step. You begin to notice a shift in your identity. You're no longer the person who wishes or plans. You become the person who does. This shift leaks into other aspects of your life. If you used to be passive in relationships, you start voicing your truth. If you used to shy away from leadership at work, you begin volunteering for roles that stretch you. The energy of "I take action now" pervades your psyche, dismantling the illusions that once caged you. It can even change the aura you project. People sense a clarity and vibrancy around you that they might not be able to name, but they feel it. That vibrancy can draw new tribe members into your orbit, those who resonate with your awakened approach. Don't be surprised if you begin encountering people who share your vision or offer complementary skills. These aren't coincidences, but signals that the universe is conspiring for your success. Meanwhile, some old relationships may naturally fade. That can sting, but let them go with gratitude for whatever role they played in your past. Not everyone can follow you to the mountaintop, especially if they're unwilling to face their own final steps. That's okay. We each have our distinct timelines for growth. The fact is, chosen one, "Just do it now, no excuse," isn't merely a motivational slogan. It's a portal. Once you cross it, you enter a realm of accelerated manifestation where your intentions unfold at a faster clip, where you can't easily go back to sleep and forget what you've realized. This might be daunting. Living at a higher level of awareness can be intense. You see through facades, including your own. You recognize how fleeting and precious your time is, how vital it is to stand for what you believe in. But it's also breathtakingly liberating. You no longer limp through life half asleep, daydreaming about someday. Instead, you rise to each morning thinking, let's see how I can expand today. And yes, there will be days of fatigue, doubts that re-emerge, or external chaos that makes you question everything. On those days, hold fast to the core truth. You acted from a place of conviction, from the resonance of your spirit. The universe honors such conviction over the illusions of perfection or permanent certainty. So treat these challenges as part of the refining process. Over time, you'll look back and see that every tough day chiseled away a little more of your fear, shaped a bit more of your character, and led you to stand even taller. If you're still reading, it means your heart is stirred. Some unstoppable force keeps your eyes glued to these lines, and your spirit is shouting, yes, it's my turn, it's my time. That's real. Don't let your mind water it down. Harness that momentum. If you feel compelled, comment 777 once more, or reaffirm your vow to yourself in a journal or in a quiet prayer. The method matters less than the sincerity. Then go forth and do something today that cements your decision into reality. It might be small, a phone call, a meeting request, a new routine. Or it might be huge, resigning from a job, starting that health regimen in earnest, or declaring your feelings to someone who matters. The magnitude doesn't matter, only that you act. Think of each action as a sacred offering to your destiny. With each motion, you're fueling the furnace of your dream, stoking the fires that will transmute wishful thinking into tangible experience. The universe notices your commitment and reciprocates with signs, coincidences, sometimes miracles. The bridging of your effort and the cosmic flow can lead to leaps you never thought possible. You must also realize that your shift can ripple out in ways you can't predict. You might inspire a close friend who's been wavering on their own transformation. You might set an example for younger family members who see you break generational cycles of complacency. Or you might find yourself in a position to guide others who, like you, once hovered on the precipice of life-altering decisions but lacked the spark to jump. This ripple effect underscores a profound truth. When one person heeds the call to step up, it elevates the collective energy around them. The universe uses you as a conduit for positive change far beyond your personal sphere. But none of that can happen if you cling to excuses. The final step demands a total renunciation of reasons to wait. If you want to read a sign from the universe, here it is. The time is now. No excuse, no apology, no hesitancy. Yes, it might be messy. Yes, it might look irrational to onlookers. Yes, it might require a stage of letting go that feels akin to loss. But you can sense the updraft of purpose swirling around your soul, can't you? That intangible certainty that this is your moment, that if not now, then when? Life is too brief and too precious to idle on the periphery of your calling. Each day that passes can never be reclaimed. To live fully is to embrace risk, to dance with uncertainty, and to trust that the universe orchestrates your highest good when you have the audacity to reach for it. By disclaiming your old excuses, you unleash a momentum that can catch you by surprise. The closed doors you once bemoaned might open. The tears you once cried might become the very water that nourishes your newly sprouting aspirations. Let me underscore one more time. You don't have to be fearless to do it now. Fear is a natural part of evolution. What matters is that your determination is stronger than your doubt. If your heart is in it, the universe stands at your side, offering resources you can't yet see. That's the magic of stepping forward on trust rather than waiting for a green light that may never come. You become a participant in the dance of cosmic timing, weaving your free will with the universe's divine choreography. This is the final step, the pivot between the life you've known and the life you know deep down you're meant for. You will always be able to craft excuses. I'm too old, I'm too young, the economy is bad, I have responsibilities. But none of these fully negates your capacity to move. Even a single determined step can break the gravitational pull of inertia. Once you break free, you'll look back and marvel at the illusions that kept you caged. You'll laugh at how easily a shift occurred once you decided to stop fueling excuses and start fueling action. So, chosen one, consider these words your final impetus. The universe is not whispering anymore, it's calling you out by name, urging you to do it now, no excuse. Let your old identity slip off your shoulders like a heavy cloak you no longer need. Step into this moment nakedly honest about your longings and your readiness to risk. No matter how humble your beginnings, no matter how chaotic your present circumstances, the final step is always within reach. It's your vow of seriousness, your handshake with destiny that says, "I'm not turning back." After you set foot on this path, let the universe take your hand. Let it guide you to places your mind can't conceive at this juncture. Take a last deep breath. Feel the tension of the unknown swirling around you. Feel your heart pounding with anticipation. You're alive in a way you haven't been in a long time, perhaps ever. This is the essence of stepping into your calling, feeling that electric hum of possibility coursing through your veins. Let that energy mobilize you. Let it propel you into the unknown. And when fear tries to corner you, recall the countless souls who have trodden similar roads, emerging more radiant, more fulfilled, more aligned than they could have dreamed. If you're still hesitating, interpret that hesitancy as confirmation that you're near something important. Fear seldom rises so strongly unless you're on the verge of crossing into new territory. Let it come, let it tremble, then walk right through it. That's courage in its rawest form. That's the hallmark of a chosen one who has heard the call and is finally willing to heed it. If any final doubt remains, remember the fleeting nature of life. The regrets you might collect from inaction are far heavier than the bruises or detours that come from daring to act. The final step is about ensuring you don't end up asking, "What if I had tried?" Instead, you'll say, "I did it and I grew stronger no matter the outcome." So, dear soul, let's end with clarity. Do it now, no excuse. Comment 777 if you haven't, close this message, and execute whatever action your spirit has been whispering about. Or even better, do it the instant you finish reading. Make that call, fill out that form, schedule that appointment, have that talk, book that flight, sign up for that class, do the workout, open that savings account, pitch your idea, paint your vision, share your truth, or stand up for what matters to you. You know the one thing you've been postponing. You know the single push that can tip your life into a new dimension. Stop waiting for tomorrow. Today is the day that life has given you, and by harnessing it, you'll unlock a tomorrow filled with possibility. Chosen one, this is your final step. Let it be a step drenched in faith, brimming with the force that only arises when you're done playing small. Do it with a grin, with tears in your eyes, with your heart pounding, but do it. No excuse. Once you cross that line, you'll realize that every heartbreak, every setback, every restless night led you here, forging the fortitude you now wield. The universe has been patiently awaiting your yes. Let that yes resound with the full weight of your soul, and watch in awe as the universe answers you back, showering you with the resources, alliances, and miracles you once believed were out of reach. Go on, this is your moment, make it count. Make it.